Hey, you tens. We're up to 5D problem solving using Pythagoras' theorem. So let's get into it. Example 8, we have a rhombus has a diagonal of length 6 centimeters and 8 centimeters. Find the length of its sides. Alright, so to do this question, you need to know some basic properties of a rhombus and use Pythagoras' theorem. So best thing we can do right now is draw a diagram. So a rhombus is basically a parallelogram, but all the sides are equal in length. Right. A special property about a rhombus is the fact that it's also a kite. The diagonals will bisect each other at right angles. Okay, so make sure you read your lesson notes. That means the diagonals are going to cut each other in half and they're going to meet at 90 degrees. So it's told us that one of the diagonals is 6 and the other is 8. So if we half each one, that means that if I do... So this has to be the short diagonal. Alright, just by looking at it. And if the full diagonal is 8, then this red one has to be 4, right? Okay, so that's a few things we need to know before we are able to solve this question. Find the length of its sides. So say all the sides are equal, right? So I only need one side. Let's make it x. And we have a right angle triangle. Let's use Pythagoras' theorem. Okay, x is going to be our hypotenuse. So we got x squared equals 3 squared plus 4 squared. X equals square root 9 plus 16, 25, which is 5. So that means, and we don't want the negative answer because we don't want negative side length. So the sides are 5 centimeters long. Alright, just a little statement to answer the question because this is a contextual question, so problem solving question. Alright, so let's move on to example 9. A man and his son both leave point A at the same time. The man rides his bicycle due east at 16 kilometers an hour. The son rides his bicycle due south at 20 kilometers an hour. How far are they apart after 4 hours? Alright, a few things going on here. But we got a person riding east and the other riding south. So if we want to draw a diagram, let's make this point A. Okay, so let's say the man goes east 16 kilometers an hour. Well, we want to know how far apart they are after 4 hours, right? So if you travel 16 kilometers per hour, times that by 4. Okay, so he's traveled 64 kilometers. And the son rides his bicycle due south at 20 kilometers an hour. Well, 20 times 4 is 80, so that's 80 kilometers. Now, east and south, well, they're 90 degrees apart, so that's a right angle. How far apart are they? So that's basically one person's going to be here at the red and the other person's going to be here at the blue after 4 hours. So the distance apart is the hypotenuse of a right angle triangle. So let's call that, let's just change things up, not use x all the time. Let's say d for distance. So let's go d squared equals 64 squared plus 80 squared, and d equals square root of, alright, this is where we need to use a calculator. Alright, let's just write that and then let's calculate this. So 64 squared plus 80 squared. So square root 64 squared plus 80 squared, 102.45 approximately. So let's just say d is approximately equal to 102.45 kilometers, and then answer the question. They are approximately 102.45 km apart after 4 hours. Okay, done. So diagrams are a very useful tool, so use them whenever you think it's necessary, or whenever you think it's going to help you, or when you're even slightly stuck. Even when you're not stuck, it can speed things up. So yeah, use diagrams efficiently to help you. Okay, example 10. An equilateral triangle has sides of length 6 centimeters. Find its area. Okay. So equilateral triangle means all sides are equal. So let's say S for side. Oh, that's not what we're trying to find. So 6, 6, right? And if we want to find its area, well, the area for a triangle you need to know. The formula is area equals half base times height. Alright, so that means we need the base, which we know is 6, but we also need the perpendicular height. Okay, so if we cut that in half, that means that there's going to be 3. Alright, let's call this the height. So we actually have to find the height using Pythagoras' theorem. So I'll do that on the side here. Well, I'll do that underneath here actually. So h squared equals, now this time h is the shorter side, one of the shorter sides of this right angle triangle. So it's going to be 6 squared take 3 squared. So h equals 6 squared take 3 squared is 36 take 9, which is 27. Square root that. So we have square root 27. Can actually simplify that, so 3 root 3. So let's just use exact values until the end. So now that we know the height, area equals half times the base of this whole triangle now is 6, because we're interested in the whole triangle. And the height is 3 root 3. Okay, if we simplify all this, half times 6 is 3. 3 times 3 root 3 is 9 root 3. Centimeters squared. Alright, so and let's answer the question. Its area is 9 root 3, or let's approximate that, 9 square root 3, 15.5, 9 to 2, or let's just go 3 sig figs, 15.6, or approximately 15.6 centimeters squared. Alright, so I'd say most problem solving with Pythagoras, it's going to help you a lot if you draw a diagram first. Alright, and these are just some types of questions you'll have to be able to answer by applying your knowledge of Pythagoras' theorem. So now you can have a go at the set questions for exercise 5D. Alright, I'll see you soon.